the forest of Naimisharanya. I'm going to do some reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 1, Text 44. The chapter is Questions by Vidura. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. As we're all getting settled, text 44. The appearance of the Lord is manifested for the annihilation of the upstarts. His activities are transcendental and are enacted for the understanding of all persons. Otherwise, since the Lord is transcendental to all material modes, what purpose could he serve by coming to earth? Purport. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha. That's the Brahma Samhita 5.1. The form of the Lord is eternal, blissful and all-knowing. His so-called birth is therefore an appearance only, like the birth of the sun on the horizon. His birth does not, like that of the living entities, take place under the influence of material nature and the bondage of the reactions of past deeds. His works and activities are independent pastimes and are not subject to the reactions of material nature. In Bhagavad Gita 4.14 it is said, Namam karmani limpanti, name karma pale spriha, iti mam yobi abhijanati karma vena sabhadyate. The law of karma enacted by the Supreme Lord for the living entities cannot be applicable to him, nor has the Lord any desire to improve himself by activities like those of ordinary living entities. Ordinary living beings work for the improvement of their conditional lives, but the Lord is already full in all opulence, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. Why should he desire improvement? No one can excel him in any opulence, and therefore the desire for improvement is absolutely useless for him. One should always discriminate between the activities of the Lord and those of ordinary living beings. Thus one may come to the right conclusion regarding the Lord's transcendental position. One who can come to the conclusion of the Lord's transcendence can become a devotee of the Lord and can at once be free from all reactions of past deeds. It is said, Karmini nidahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. The Lord minimizes or nullifies the reactionary influence of the devotee's past deeds. That's from Brahma Samhita 5.54.
The activities of the Lord are to be accepted and relished by all living entities. His activities are to attract the ordinary man towards the Lord. The Lord always acts in favor of the devotees, and therefore ordinary men who are fruitive actors or seekers of salvation may be attracted to the Lord when he acts as protector of the devotees. The fruitive actors can attain their goals by devotional service, and the salvationists can also attain their goal in life by devotional service to the Lord. The devotees do not want the fruitive results of their work, nor do they want any kind of salvation. They relish the glorious superhuman activities of the Lord, such as his lifting Govardhan Hill and his killing the demon Putana in infancy. His activities are enacted to attract all kinds of men. Got a bird over there. Karmis, Gyanis, and Bhaktas. Because he is transcendental to all laws of karma, there is no possibility of his accepting a form of Maya as is forced on the ordinary living entities who are bound by the actions and reactions of their own deeds. The secondary purpose of his appearance is to annihilate the upstart... Oh, sorry.
Excuse me. The secondary purpose of his appearance is to annihilate the upstart asuras and to stop the nonsense of atheistic propaganda by less intelligent persons. By the Lord's causeless mercy, the asuras who are killed personally by the personality of Godhead get salvation. The meaningful appearance of the Lord is always distinct from ordinary birth. Even the pure devotees have no connection with the material body, and certainly the Lord who appears as he is in his Satchitananda form is not limited by a material form.
Any revelations or realizations?
No, just that it's hard for people to accept that Krishna is God because he comes in a form like us.
Hmm.
Clearly, it's hard for some people.
Well, Bhagavad Gita says, fools deride me when I come in my, human form.
Right. Because it's almost like you should look like some mutant. Something completely, the absolute truth. The irony is people, because it's actually the false ego, because you think, no, you can't look like us, but no, you look like him. He's the original. He created you. It's not that you are unique in yourself. You're created. So, it's interesting, isn't it? So it's just that mind shift that, oh, actually, yeah, maybe we look like what you do. It's the arrogance, but he looks like us.
Well, the Bible says God made man in his own image.
Right, and we know that, and he has to look like us. And I say has to, meaning they can't, like Prabhupada says, we can't have something that he doesn't have. So he can look like us, but then he can also look like half man and half lion, and like a fish, and like a tortoise, and whatever.
He can look like whatever he wants to.
Yeah. Which is us as well.
But the original form, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam is two-armed form.
Right.
Okay, next verse. Verse number 45. So there's only one page left in the chapter.
Oh.
We should have finished it last time. I didn't realize. O my friend, please therefore chant the glories of the Lord, who is meant to be glorified in the places of pilgrimage. He is unborn, and yet he appears by his causeless mercy upon the surrendered rulers of all parts of the universe. Only for their interest did he appear in the family of his unalloyed devotees, the Yadus. Purport. There are innumerable rulers all over the universe in different varieties of planets. The sun god and the sun planet, the moon god and the moon planet, Indra and the heavenly planet, Vayu, Varuna, and those in the Brahmaloka planet, where Lord Brahma is living. All are obedient servants of the Lord. Whenever there is any trouble in the administration of the innumerable planets in different universes, the rulers pray for an appearance, and the Lord appears. The Bhagavatam 1.3.28 has already confirmed. This is the verse that I mentioned. And the following verse, Ete chamshe kala pamsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari vyakulam lokam mridayanti yuge yuge. In every millennium, whenever there is any trouble for the obedient rulers, the Lord appears. He also appears for the sake of his pure unalloyed devotees. The surrendered rulers and the pure devotees are always strictly under the control of the Lord, and they are never disobedient to the desire of the Lord. The Lord is therefore always attentive to them.
The purpose of pilgrimages is to remember the Lord constantly, and therefore the Lord is known as Tirtha Kirti. The purpose of going to a place of pilgrimage is to get the chance to glorify the Lord. Even today, although times have changed, there are still pilgrimage sites in India. For example, in Mathura and Vrindavan, where we had a chance to stay, people are awake from early in the morning at 4 a.m. up until night time, and are constantly engaged some way or other in chanting the holy glories of the Lord. The beauty of such a pilgrimage site is that automatically one remembers the holy glories of the Lord. His name, fame, quality, form, pastimes, and entourage are all identical to the Lord. And therefore, chanting the glories of the Lord invokes the personal presence of the Lord. Any time or anywhere pure devotees meet and chant the glories of the Lord is present without any doubt. It is said by the Lord himself that he always stays where his pure devotees chant his glories.
So Jason is watching. He said, he likes the view. What time is it there? So it's almost 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. It says that devotees get up at 4 a.m. something. We had a chance to stay. People are people, it says, where we had a chance to stay, people are awake from early in the morning at 4 a.m. until nighttime, constantly engaged. So we can relate to that, I think, most of the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving on to chapter 2 of the 3rd canto. So it's amazing how just with steady
Yeah.
reading regularly every day, then you make great progress through this voluminous literature. What is it, 18 volumes of easily over 500, probably like 600 or 700, 800 page books. We're already in the 3rd canto, which is 3 or 4 volumes in, just reading for, well, you're experiencing it 3 times a week, right?
Yeah, 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
3 times a week.
But we tried to do more, but
yeah. So so it's amazing. Okay, so we're chapter 2. Text 1. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, when the great devotee Uddhav was asked by Vidura, so remember this conversation is meeting between Vidura and Uddhav. When the great devotee Uddhav was asked by Vidura to speak on the messages of the dearest Lord Krishna, Uddhav was unable to answer immediately due to excessive anxiety at the remembrance of the Lord. So when Vidura was asking him, he was feeling anxious. Text 2. He was one who, even in his childhood, at the age of 5 years, was so absorbed in the service of Lord Krishna that when he was called by his mother for morning breakfast, he did not wish to have it. There you go.
wow.
Purport. From his very birth, Uddhav was a natural devotee of Lord Krishna, or a Nityasiddha, a liberated soul. From natural instinct, he used to serve Lord Krishna even in his childhood. He used to play with dolls in the form of Krishna. He would serve the dolls by dressing, feeding, and worshipping them, and thus he was constantly absorbed in the play of transcendental realization. These are the signs of an eternally liberated soul. An eternally liberated soul is a devotee of the Lord who never forgets him. Human life is meant for reviving one's eternal relationship with the Lord, and all religious injunctions are meant for awakening this dormant instinct of the living entity. Such a powerful and potent statement there, and really, really relevant. The sooner this awakening is brought about, the quicker the mission of human life is fulfilled. In a good family of devotees, the child gets the opportunity to serve the Lord in many ways. A soul who is already advanced in devotional service has the opportunity to take birth in such an enlightened family. Wonderful verses, wonderful statements. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Suchinam Srimatam Ge He Yoga Brashto Bijayate. Even the fallen devotee gets the opportunity to take his birth in the family of a well-situated Brahmin or in a rich, well-to-do mercantile family. In both these families, there is good opportunity to revive one's senses of God consciousness automatically, because particularly in these families, the worship of Lord Krishna is regularly performed, and the child gets the opportunity to imitate the process of worship called archana. I think this is really, really wonderful, and especially for all the parents out there and children growing up with the opportunity to worship the Lord at a young age and see the worship of the Lord going on. This is such a huge benediction. And we can see that Prabhupada states that a soul who is already advanced in devotional service has the opportunity to take birth in such an enlightened family. So that means parents, if you have children, parents who are devotees, if you have children whom you're bringing up, you have to respect and appreciate that these are advanced souls who are coming into the world at this time and taking birth in your family. in order to finish up their business, in order to keep progressing on the path of bhakti. Anyway, a few thoughts, but I think it's wonderful.
The Pancharatrika formula for training persons in devotional service is temple worship, whereby the neophytes get the opportunity to learn devotional service to the Lord. Maharaj Parikshit also used to play with Krishna dolls in his childhood. In India, the children in good families are still given dolls of the Lord like Ram and Krishna, or sometimes the demigods, so that they may develop the aptitude of service to the Lord. By the grace of the Lord, we were given the same opportunity by our parents, and the beginning of our life was based on this principle. I was given comic books on Nishingadev, Prahlad Maharaj pastime, Tukaram, and there's someone else. They're gone now, and I read them thousands of times. That's an exaggeration, but that's the only comics I had. They're growing up. I didn't have the Beano or anything else, or Dandy, whatever. And I read them over and over and over again, because I'm like that. So I knew it.
Because she's one of the great souls.
No,
She was born
my
in a
dad
family
got
of devotees.
got them from when we went to India, and he gifted them, and I read them over and over. And the way they painted Prahlad Maharaj, I just thought it was a girl. It was only when I came to ISKCON I realised it was a boy. So yeah, I wasn't quite sure what the man lion was doing, but it was good.
Text 3. Yeah, well, that's a shame, actually, that your parents weren't kind of explaining it more to you.
I mean, I understood it was God. No, I'm being serious. I understood this is devotional pastime, But they were Indian comics. Sometimes they were painted in a certain way. No, I knew they were devotional. I just kept reading them because I liked them. Same ones.
Uddhav thus, this is text 3. Uddhav thus served the Lord continually from childhood, and in his old age that attitude of service never slackened. As soon as he was asked about the messages of the Lord, he at once remembered all about him. Purport. Transcendental service to the Lord is not mundane. The service attitude of the devotee gradually increases and never becomes slackened. Generally, in old age, a person is allowed retirement from mundane service, but in the transcendental service of the Lord, there is no retirement at all. Oh, God. On the contrary, the service attitude increases more and more with the progress of age. Interesting. In the transcendental service, there is no satiation, and therefore there is no retirement. Materially, when a man becomes tired by rendering service in his physical body, he is allowed retirement. But in the transcendental service, there is no feeling of fatigue, because it is spiritual service and is not on the bodily plane. Service on the bodily plane dwindles as the body grows older, but the spirit is never old, and therefore on the spiritual plane the service is never tiresome.
That's why you see people that are really old and you think, come on, stop now. They don't, because the machine may be old, but the spirit soul is just waking up. Isn't it?
Yeah. We want to keep being engaged. This is a clear sign of spiritual advancement.
Yeah.
We never want to stop.
Yeah, what's stopping us is the old age and disease, and it's frustrating, devotees get depressed, upset. They can't. Uddhav undoubtedly became old, but that does not mean that his spirit became old. His service attitude matured on the transcendental plane, and therefore as soon as he was questioned by Vidura about Lord Krishna, he at once remembered his Lord by reference to the context and forgot himself on the physical plane. That is a sign of pure devotional service to the Lord, as will be explained later on, Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya, etc., in Lord Kapila's instructions to his mother Devahuti.
So, prefacing some pastimes yet to come. Remember when we started to read? What time it was?
I don't remember. But
Okay. So we'll just read, anyway, read one more, I guess.
okay.
I mean, I'm not sure. I'm happy to keep reading.
Yeah.
For a
It's
moment he remained
a
dead
little.
silent, and his body did not move. He became absorbed in the nectar of remembering the Lord's lotus feet in devotional ecstasy, and he appeared to be going increasingly deeper into that ecstasy. Purport confirmed. On the inquiry by Vidura about Krishna, Uddhava appeared to be awakened from slumber. He appeared to regret that he had forgotten the lotus feet of the Lord. Thus he again remembered the lotus feet of the Lord and remembered all his transcendental loving service unto him. And by so doing he felt the same ecstasy that he used to feel in the presence of the Lord. Because the Lord is absolute, there is no difference between his remembrance and his personal presence. Thus Uddhava remained completely silent for a moment, but then he appeared to be going deeper and deeper into ecstasy. Feelings of ecstasy are displayed by highly advanced devotees of the Lord. There are 8 kinds of transcendental changes in the body: tears, shivering of the body, perspiration, restlessness, throbbing, choking of the throat, etc., and all were manifested by Uddhava in the presence of Vidura.
Intense.
You want to keep going? We'll stop there.
Just stop there. I'll turn it off.
No problem. Okay, so thank you all very much. I'll do it. You want to say the goodbyes?
Alright, thank you everyone for joining us in our bhajan kute, Nani Sharanya. Let's hope he doesn't fall off this little ledge. So we'll see you next time. Hare Krishna.